Today, we're going to talk to a seller from Europe who has sold millions of dollars and also helped others sell millions more, never having sold in America. But he's going to give us his top strategies on advertising, keyword ranking, and using AI for Amazon sellers. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And we are now going live to the other side of the world in Poland, I believe maybe an hour or so out of Warsaw, if I'm not mistaken. And we've got, I'm just going to call you Bart because that's
great.
Easier. That's how I always call you when I see you on Facebook. Bart Pietkowski from Poland. What's the name of the city where you actually are in? Right?
We are in Olsztyn right now. It's like 2 hours from Warsaw.
Okay. Now, I've said this many times, when I do podcasts and I'm always wearing something different, I always have something in mind when I choose what I'm wearing for the podcast. Not always, but sometimes. And I have clippers here. And so do you know why I'm especially wearing Clippers shirt and hat and you're on the podcast?
No, not really. I'm sorry. I just know that you have like lots of hats.
Yep. One of my favorite Clippers basketball players of the 90s or 2000s was Eric Pietkowski.
Oh,
so same. Do you know? Have you ever heard of him? Same last name as you. Maybe a distant relative of yours, and you didn't know. Played on the Los Angeles Clippers. They called him the Polish Rifle, because he was a really good shooter on the Clippers team. But yeah, he's Eric Pietkowski. And so I was like, I wonder if you're distantly related, maybe a distant uncle or something.
Maybe I need to call him, but probably he will not answer.
I assume this is more like a maybe like a Smith or Jones in Poland, like not that uncommon, or it is a kind of unique name.
It's rather unique. There are like not a lot of Piątkowski in Poland, so it's quite unique.
Okay, maybe there is a distant relation. All right, well, you never know. Okay, anyways, we are not here to talk basketball. A lot of things happening this week in the basketball world, but we're not here to talk basketball. We're here to talk Amazon. And since this is your first time on our podcast, we need to get your backstory. So where were you born and raised? Is it right there in the same town that you are now or somewhere else in Poland?
Closer to Warsaw. And like 20 years ago, we moved to Olsztyn. And I have my family here, 2 kids and also a wife, of course. And we are living here for 20 years plus, something like that.
Okay, excellent. And did you go to university in Poland?
Well, technically, I'm a cook by school, so I have nothing in common with e-commerce world when it comes to the school thingy.
So you're saying like after you finished what we call high school in America or secondary, you went right to working as like a cook and things like that?
I have never worked like as a cook. I from there I moved. I was working in radio here in Olsztyn. Later on, I was working in this electronic shop. It's like a lot smaller.
So the schooling was to become a cook, but then after you learned it, you didn't actually go into that. Yeah, very similar to many people in e-commerce.
Yeah.
Do you help your wife cook a lot at home, though, at least since you're professionally trained?
Well, to be honest, not really. Rather water in many cases, just because I put too much spices in different dishes.
So what year about did you discover e-commerce? It sounds like with a business partner, you're saying.
It was 10 years ago. So it was in 2016.
2016. Who did it? Who discovered it? You or your business partner?
It was pretty much me, because on the start of the journey, we were selling to retail. So, to MediaMarkt, if you know that kind of a shop, and lots of Polish electronic shop, because we were distributors of one Chinese customer electronics brand. We were selling headphones, keyboards, stuff like that, but we were pretty much not well experienced. And later on, during the process, it was happening for 2 years, 1 year and a half. We pretty much found out that Amazon is a great place. at start, my business partner really like pushed me. No, you don't do that. We will find someone that will do Amazon. But we had like 8,000 euros on our account at the end of the journey, and we were about to close our business. But I found a guy. It was on your Facebook group. He was called Jack Wee, something like that. A guy from Australia, and he was teaching me stuff. And I was, because we have already our Amazon account, everything that he taught me, I was putting I put on Amazon, and it was really funny because we found out that Amazon margins can be higher than the retail margins. So pretty much everything that was coming back to us, because those electronic shops had an opportunity, because things were not selling well because we had no merchandising and no advertising in Poland. Those stuff was coming back to our warehouse, and we started selling it on Amazon, and that's how it started. And we pretty much sold all the stuff.
Are we talking Amazon USA or Amazon Germany or where?
No. It was Germany, France, Italy, Europe.
Got it.
We only manage US for our clients. We do not sell on Amazon US because we are not so huge company. We are not able to order that much to be able to even send it to US.
So when you were starting these products, is it kind of like private label products, or these are brands that people in Europe know about and you're kind of like buying and reselling?
Okay, so for starters, it was knives from Counter-Strike, if you know, real knives from Counter-Strike with those skins. They were not well known. We pretty much built the demand for them. Later on, it was brand called, you can Google it probably, X Gamer. It was a gaming pulver. Energy drink in a pulver, and we introduced it to whole Europe. So that company, we were only the reselling part, and we did Amazon for them. And in the meantime, my business partner had another company with the packaging products, and that was our first private label, because we created, stretch follies and lots of other crazy things for packaging, boxes, stuff like that. We branded that by a name of V1 Trade, and we started to sell it in whole Europe. Later on, we added Pinea brand. It's a wooden boxes brand with different like garden stuff. And later on, because that cooperation with the X Gamer ended, so we created our own energy pulver. It's called Upgrade, and we are selling it right now as well. We have pretty much, 6 private label brands with different products. We sell on Amazon like 900 SKUs. Of course, we have Pareto, so like 20% of our SKUs does 80% of our sales. So pretty much like there are like few products, and right now we have started our cooperation with Uzbekistan, and we are starting to sell textiles. You probably know a brand called Utopia. It's something similar.
Oh yes.
I know a guy who produced stuff for them, and now they produce stuff for us. And it's
made in Pakistan.
It's made in Uzbekistan.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so this is how it works. And in the meantime, we found out that we also can do the reselling stuff. So we have an opportunity. We had an opportunity to talk with, Fruit of the Loom brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have Warren Buffett, his company gave us a permission to manage that brand in Europe. So we are managing Fruit of the Loom brand in Europe as well. And we can create our own products, our own combos of products, because they gave us the access to their GTIN number. So we can add our European numbers to their like brand. And we also manage those products in Europe. So, but there are like lots of different products. I love that we didn't sell in those 10 years. There is one product we didn't sell on Amazon. Those are cars. Because we sold bikes, a lot of adult products, pretty much everything. Because, people started to, there were a lot of fails, let's call it like that,
Sure.
during the process. But right now we know what we are best in, and we have a company with like 55 people here in Olsztyn. We all work from one place, not remotely. So, and really like it. I really love how Amazon works. And to add on top of that, that guy, that I mentioned before, the first application he showed me was Helium 10.
Back in 2016.
Yes, in 2016, exactly. And during that time, I was not like aware how it works. Probably I shouldn't tell you that, but he shared his account with me, and he gave me. And at that point, I had no idea how it works. I remember the Frank. I pretty much remember all the application, all the tools you guys had on that on Helium 10, and how your product developed up until now.
What's your favorite Helium 10 tool? Like your top 2 favorite Helium 10 tools that you guys use for your
course,
company?
it's Cerebro, of course, and Magnet, and I also love the SQP. And for lots of time we were using it was Atomic named back in the days. Right now it's Helium 10 Ads. I really like it. So, but each day in the company, because we have supercharged account in the company we use of course X-Ray, Cerebro, and Magnet. Cerebro and Magnet are now connected.
How are you using the Cerebro and Magnet? Like, let's start with there. Like what's is it only for keyword research? Are you using it as part of your product research? What kind of actions do you take based on what you see? Like maybe, somebody else out there is using it and they can learn some new way of using it from you.
We are using it for audits for our clients as well, but for our products for products of our clients, we use it for the keyword research, the positions. Amazon recommended rank is something that no one else have. At least I don't know if someone else have it. So this thingy is a game changer for an agency and for us, because it shows us how Amazon pretty much understand the catalog. And right now, what I really love, I have access to that for 2 days. It's the Helium 10 MCP and the black box thingy. We have the packaging materials. Those are generic products. And your new black box tool that can show us what products are disabled, not active. We can find a lot of products that we can use for sales, because they are not working. They have sometimes thousands of reviews, and we can just connect our products to them. They are not branded. They are in most cases generic. So, and we can make a huge difference in sales just by finding those products. So there is also listing quality. You guys have to be honest, there is I pretty much use everything you guys have in your portfolio because it's.
How are you going to use the MCP? I know you've only been using it a couple of days, but I remember you were excited about it at first. Not all the supercharged people got it because it was only elite, but then we're like, hey, the supercharged is elite too. So you were asking, hey, make sure to connect mine. And so why were you so excited to use it? How are you going to be using it
okay, so
going forward?
I can show you, but it's in Polish, so I will try to explain. So my Claude, so my cowork, have access to my API, advertising API, and I have access also to the SP API. So I have access to catalogs, and now I have also access to Cerebro by MCP. So I can just put a proper prompt, and I can tell. I also have P&L in Helium, so I have CO, cost of goods entered. So I can pretty much tell Claude using MCP to do research for me. And this is crazy because I can then create a dashboard. And because I have advertising API, I can create an artifact where I can just, system will tell me what changes I can do. And I can do an artifact where I just click apply, and it uses SP API to push those changes to my account. So, I can do things that my people did for like 5 days. I can now do that. I can do it 15 minutes right now. I can just put stuff. I can research like 900 products in, I don't know, 60 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. And it's pretty crazy.
Awesome. Okay. For Helium 10 ads, are you using that for your own accounts or like your clients' accounts or both or what?
We are using it for our own and for our clients' account. We are mostly using analytics, but for our account, the automatic actions and suggestions are like the greatest. So we have also turned it on our own account, and you can like. When we do resale for stuff, where we have lots of different sellers, it's crazy how we can use it to like change bids. Right now, the thingy you guys added with the keyword position is like also a new game changer. You can put your keyword positions. You can do the automatic actions, and when your product on a different keyword changes position, you can have a suggestion how much you should like increase your bid to regain the
how are you going to use that? Is it for like your new launch when you're trying to rank for something, or it's like the old products where, hey, you have 5 keywords, you have to always be at the top? Or are you doing the opposite where maybe you have some keywords where you're already at the top and you want to test, maybe the lower bid still gives you at the top? So there's so many different use cases you can have. What are your top use case for the keyword rank rule in Helium 10 ads?
So we do it a little bit differently. We use search query performance to find keywords where when our rank is and conversion is better than the so-called delta of whole category. And then we find those keywords. We found keywords where we need to scale. So we do keyword positioning for those products more aggressively. And those products where our position is on the top, we decrease the bid, because still the clients will buy us, even though our bids are where our bids are lower. So we can it's crazy because you can get more money, bigger margins just by using this tool. And there's like 1.5% or 2% in our supercharge. We have, I think, 1.5% of spend that we need to pay to Helium. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it, because we can get a lot more margin just by using this new tool.
Excellent. So when you're like trying to dial back the spend but still stay at the top of the page, are you making the rule based on the organic rank or the sponsored rank? I assume sponsored rank. And if it's sponsored rank, for the keywords that are really important for you, where are you trying to stay? Position 1 and 2, 1 through 4, 1 through 8? Like, what position are you trying to maintain?
You probably don't like this answer. It pretty much depends on the product, because
that's fine.
It's we sell lots of business to business product, B2B products, and for example, let's take a keyword in German, stretch foil. It's pretty much a stretch foil, and on that keyword, this is a commercial keyword, let's call it like that, where people mostly buy 1 roll of stretch, but we also sell on that keyword our B2B, where we sell 6 rolls of stretch that are pretty bigger and used in warehouses. So for us, it's not worth to be on the first page, because we will never sell that much of pieces of product. For us, it's okay if we are in the rest of search, let's call it like that. And so we know that we don't really need to be on the first place. And to be honest, we do not position ourselves by the sponsored rank, but rather by the organic rank. And we use this thing you guys have, CPR, something like, how much do you need to sell in 8 days to be on the first page? We use that number, and we pretty much track how much products we sold using the sponsored, and then we compare it to our organic. We created our own crawler using Claude, vibe coded, something like that. And we also have keyword tracker. So we pretty much compare all those data, and we have access to lots more than just what Amazon shows us. We know on what hour, what position we had, and what beat we had when that position happened. And Helium 10 gives us lots of data, and this is what we really love about it, because using that data can be a game changer. And we teach people here in Poland how to do that, because no other tool, by our knowledge, have that much of data. And you need to believe me, we have used probably most of them during those 10 years.
Awesome. What's something else unique strategy wise that you guys are doing? Doesn't have to be about Helium 10. It could just be about anything. So
it pretty much depends on the year, because right now 2026 is a year of logistics, at least here in Europe, and a year of merging. So what we do in most cases, it probably is nothing new for the advanced sellers. We do the pricing strategy where we put 50% of the price at start of each new product. And then each week we increase it by 10%. It's happening daily, not weekly, but daily. But it sum up to 10% per week, where we aim to achieve 100%. We pretty much use it was called like 8 years ago, something called viral launch, where we use Vine, where we use Helium 10. We use also coupons. We use also inserts. We create portals. We use ManyChat. So people who buy our products by that low price, they leave us a lot of reviews. And this social proof gives us a lot of strength at start of each product. But I think like most of the sellers, advanced sellers, use that strategy. But for us, also one thing that is really important right now is the logistic part. To be honest, I need to mention that you guys have that alerts tool, the thing that shows us how much less the package should be to achieve lower FBA fee, is also a thing that we use a lot at start of our journey. And what we also do, we are doing products mobile first, because at least here in Europe, I don't know the proper statistic for US, like 72% of sales starts on mobile. I don't mean like 72% ends on mobile. Sometimes the buy button is clicked on the tablet. Sometimes, it's on your computer. But, in most cases, when you see it on the waiting line, in your toilet, whatever, you pretty much just check Amazon, check the add to cart, whatever. So what we do, we pretty much always create our product mobile first. And in Europe, pretty much each category shows products on mobile differently. So you need to be on top of that. And also, there is one thing that probably not a lot of sellers, at least not in Europe, use. It's browse guides. Browse guides are really crazy thing, at least right now, when attributes are so important, because they pretty much switched how keywords work in the title. Those 75 characters that you need to put on the title and those 125 in item highlights. It changes how catalogs work. And now attributes are really important. On those browse guides, we created our own tool that you just put category, inventory, listing, and it have the browse guide information from different categories in each market in Europe. So, if different for Germany, France, etc., and they compare that. And we can put whatever, ChatGPT, Cloud Code, Grok, whatever API to just, compare if those data. It's pretty much like in Amazon where you have this enhanced listing data. We can do that without Amazon. And it's making a lot of change because also not a lot of sellers know that if you do not put proper attributes, you will not be mentioned in those filters on the left side of the search bar. in many, at least in Europe, in many cases. So this is also a thing that we add for our clients and our own products to be a lot more discoverable than other products, because this is the thing that starts the whole journey. If a buyer is not able to see you, it won't. Even if you will have the greatest picture in the world, they won't click you.
There's a lot of nuances and
right.
difficulty with selling in Amazon Europe because of taxes, because of which marketplace should I sell in, where should I store my inventory, which Amazon inventory service should I use. What's some general things you could talk about that maybe you see so many people, especially since you have clients too, that when they come to you, they were really making a mistake with how they were managing their Amazon Europe? Like maybe it's about logistics, maybe it's about where they store their inventory, maybe it's about taxes. What's some biggest mistakes people do about Amazon Europe?
Okay, so in Europe, we have something called Pan-EU inventory. It's a system where Amazon will change place of storage of your item. And in Europe, you have something called Golden Triangle. When you have your tax registered in Poland, Czech, I don't know if that's the proper name in English, I think it's Czech, and Germany, all the products are for Amazon, they are treated like they are in Germany. And this is like really important thing, because then you can send goods to Polish warehouse and they will be stored across those three countries. And the handling time, the delivery time is up to 38 hours. So you have Prime immediately. But people in Europe don't really understand that even though they have registered the VAT in Poland, Czech, and Germany, if they will send goods to Germany directly, their handling time and delivery time will be 24 hours, and that changes a lot. The same goes for France, Spain, and all the other countries. So the biggest difficulty and also the biggest mistake sellers in Europe do is that they pretty much send stuff to their own country warehouse, and they are thinking that they will have luck and Amazon will just send those goods. They will use the FC transfer to deliver those goods to different countries. But you can pretty much just skip it and send it by yourself to those countries, and you will immediately get Prime and faster delivery times. And also you will get a lot bigger conversion. I can tell you that for our stretch or different other different products, only by delivering those goods to the destination country, we increased our conversion by 30%. And I don't mean 30% of base conversion. So for example, 10% to 13, but 30% main conversion. So 10% to 40%. And that's a huge deal.
Obviously. Yeah. You just change conversion rate, even 1 or 2%. It makes a big difference. So yeah. Okay. What's the future like for your business? Do you ever see yourself expanding to USA, or you're happy just selling in Europe? Are you trying to grow the brands to more offline? Like what's the future for your brands?
I'm laughing because each year we are telling ourselves that we will expand to US. And each year we are unable to, because we are not able to order that much to be able to fulfill European needs and also to send it to US. But for now, what is the most important thing is to expand to different marketplaces, to be honest, here in Europe, because we are expanding to Kaufland. Right now, TikTok shop started like two weeks ago in Poland. So this is also a thing that we will do. Also, the fun part is that we were not selling on Allegro. We started on Amazon, even though Allegro is the most well-known and our culture-based marketplace. And we also are expanding there. We are also expanding to Bol and lots of other different marketplaces. We just do not really like those Chinese, like TikTok. Oh, no, TikTok is the only one. Like Temu and AliExpress. And here in Europe, they are changing law in two days. On the 1st of next month, they're adding an additional tax on each package that comes from China. 3 euro per category. So people in Poland sees that like the product price increase is like 30 zloty. So it's a lot. So a product that costed like 7 zloty now cost 37 zloty. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
So
that's like really going to affect like the Shein and Temu
exactly
and things like that, right? Well, will that affect Amazon sellers much?
Not really. Okay. Not really, because when if I will source stuff from China, when it will cross the Polish border, I will have to pay 23% tax just by that. And if something sent directly from Chinese seller to Chinese customer crossed the border, in many cases there were no additional costs. So at start of that fight with Chinese sellers, I was 23% not cheaper, the other way.
More expensive.
I'm sorry. Yes. I was 23% more expensive than Chinese seller. So for now, and also what is also now happening, we are changing from, click to do something to an automatic company where we just use, in most cases, agents, and we mostly think about strategy, pain points. We we'll listen to our clients, we contact them. This year we have started the more created landing pages for our inserts. We are doing lots of that kind of stuff to be able to fulfill the needs of our clients on a higher level.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on here. If people want to, find you on the interwebs out there, how can they reach out to you, or maybe they want to talk to you more?
There are two possibilities. One is on our site, amzteam.pro, and the other one is by my name and surname, bartekpiątkowski.pl.
All right. And make sure to look up, ask your family, hey, is there an Eric in our extended family who was a basketball player in the Clippers before? And
to be honest, I know that I have a family in the US and I once met them, but they will know Eric. So, but it was like 25 years ago or something. So, things could have changed.
All right. We'll see. Let's see. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
How do you say thank you? Thank you in Polish?
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję. Okay, thank you very much. Dziękuję. We'll see
exactly. Thank you.